How to do a nocturnal winter landscape. Now, nocturnal means nighttime. Welcome to the Canoga Park Youth Arts Center's winter session. Winter! See all the snowflakes? Where I'm going to show you how to draw a couple of different and also use paint and some other unexpected supplies. We're going to do 2 winter landscapes. Let me show you what we're going to be doing today. Wow, it's on black paper, huh? I know. A lot of times people don't think that you can do a nighttime picture. So a nighttime picture has a couple advantages. First, we don't see many of them. And also oil pastels really pop on black paper. So let's just take a quick look at some of the elements we have here. As with all landscapes that we've talked about before, the horizon line is the most important part. I have a mountainous landscape, mountain horizon line going on. Remember, mountains are all different from one another, just like you. So make them different. Then I have this cool line of trees that kind of helps with the transition from the flat snow to the mountainous behind these trees. Now, I've got my little cabin here. I have the lights on in my cabin, but I have a couple of unexpected surprises here for you. One is the aluminum foil. Do you see my aluminum foil? It's right there. Now, this is something you may have in your own kitchens. And you can use aluminum foil for a lot of different things while you're making art. You can bend it into sculptures of people, but today I chose to use it to represent a frozen pond. So I cut it into an elliptical. That's like an oval, because when a frozen lake is laying down, like it is, we're not going to see it as a circle. We're going to see it more as an oval. And the other trick I'm going to show you about in today's project is how to make these snowflakes. We're going to kind of splatter them all on to make it kind of look like a blizzard. And when you're not doing a winter scene, the same trick works for stars and makes a very believable nighttime starry sky. So let's take a look at some other nighttime nocturnal landscapes. Look at how inviting this piece is. Do you see how the lights are reflecting in the lake? All the warm, inviting yellow lights that are inside. And we still have a horizon line and all the snow and the trees. So they're creating a very inviting place for us to go. Now here we have a couple of different ones, but it does point out something I want to draw your attention to. First of all, at night, almost everything is blue. And especially in the winter, almost everything is blue because the white snow and shadow is blue. And you can see that on the road, on the one painting. You see how the road's got some blue going on. There's a lot of blue in those mountains in the background. The trees all have blue in them. So remember, if you're doing a nighttime scene, blue is your go-to color. Here we have another couple sets, and you can see the stars in the sky. So you can kind of see how the stars in the sky look like they could be snowflakes. So the same technique I'm going to show you, you can use both as stars and as snow. And again, tons of blue. Look at how much blue is in this. Blue, blue, and blue, and with more reflection. You have a choice when you use your aluminum foil that you can use the super shiny side, or you can use kind of the duller side. That'll be up to you. So now let's take a look at the supplies that we'll be using today. All right, now I know that you guys may not always have black paper on hand, but it is still pretty easy to secure. So you're going to need a piece of black paper. I also have a practice piece because I'm going to show you how to splatter paint our snow, but it's best to have something to practice on before you put it on your actual artwork. You're going to need some aluminum foil, you're going to need some oil pastels, some glue, and some scissors. So those are all the supplies you guys are going to have to gather around before we start. So remember what I'm always saying about the horizon line. Everything always starts with the horizon line. Now you guys can do your colors any way you want. Remember, this is your artwork, right? I'm going to use purple for my Purple Mountain Majesties. But it doesn't mean that's the only color. So see how my mountains are all different? Can you see that? Let's see. See how they're all a little different from each other? I have some that are tall. I have some that are shorter. And I can even put a little bit of snow on these to make you see even more what I'm talking about. See how when the white goes over the purple, it makes like that cool lavender? White is your magic color. All right, so here's that. Now the next thing I'm going to draw is where the land goes from being flat to being mountain is. So there we go. Now I'm going to have a tree line that goes there, and I'm just going to do it really quick so you guys can see. I'm going to go back in and do it again. Here's my tree line, just to give you an idea of where we're headed with this. Now I'm going to put my pond over here, which means I have to do my cabin over here. Now, if you want your cabin to look 3D, it's easy. Otherwise, if you just want to do a straight up, easy cabin, it's a square, it's a triangle, right? So that's cool, and that works. But if you want to make your cabin look 3D, there's a really easy way that you can do this. You're going to do what I call flags. You're going to put a flag off that way, a flag off this way, and a flag off that way. You see? Flag, flag, flag. Now I'm just going to connect these. There's that line, and there's that line. So do you see how it's just 1, 2, 3 little short lines connected? I've made my cabin go from being one-dimensional to being two-dimensional. I'm going to put a little bit of white in there so you guys can see it a little bit better. Oh, look at the cool color that white on top of brown makes. I'm telling you, white on top of any color is super cool. There we go. Put in my door, put in my windows. There we go. So now here's kind of my basic sketch. I can put in a big tree next to my house later on. But for now, let's get to coloring our piece in. So I'm going to start with putting a little bit of purple in my mountains like we started. But look how I'm doing this. I'm not coloring in carefully. I'm getting all kind of sketchy. I'm staying underneath my line here, but the rest of it's just kind of free form. We're going to grab some blue because it's winter and everything is blue in the winter. So now you can see how those two colors blended look really cool. So I'm just going to finish this. I'm going to take a little bit of white and add it to the top. Remember, it's nighttime. Yes, I am going to add some brown. So trust me, if you overlap your colors, you get much more interesting things going on. All right, look at that. Look how cool. Do you see all the colors of my mountains? Do you see how the light side and the dark side start adding depth and texture to my mountains? All right, now it's time for the tree line. And again, I'm not going to sit here and draw 14,000 trees. I'm going to go like this with my oil pastel. Some trees are short, some trees are big, some trees are big and then short and then big. I'm just going to put a little bit of this yellow in here because some of my trees have a different little color going on. And remember, overlapping color adds interest to your artwork. So that's 3 colors I've used on my trees. Dark green, yellow, and blue. Time for snow. I'm using the side of my oil pastel. I can cover a lot. And look at this cool texture it's leaving behind. Do you see these lines that are happening? That's because this paper is overlapped and I can even use those lines to my advantage. Alrighty. Now I'm going to put in a tree. I'm going to leave my cabin for a little while longer. I'm going to put in a tree. Tree trunk. I'm going to add some black to counteract all of that white that is going on top of. Now, put in my pine tree. Do you see? I'm not doing this. I'm being very casual. I'm being very loose in what I'm doing. I'm not sitting there and drawing every pine needle, right? Because that would not be fun. And you gotta have fun. Putting some shadow on my tree. I'm also going to put a little bit of shadow on my cabin. Let's put my cabin together. It's a log cabin, so I'm going to put lines to make it look like a log cabin. Black oil pastel on black paper looks really cool too. All right, I'm going to make my door shut because it's cold outside. I'm going to have some warm inviting light on the inside. Now my yellow needs a little help because it's black paper, so I'm going to put some white on top of my yellow. And then I'm going to put some yellow in the snow because that's the light. Remember we saw some of them reflecting? So I'm going to put a little bit of yellow on the snow reflecting out from that. Let's give us a black roof. I'm going to leave a little bit of room to put some snow on my roof. And you can put some icicles hanging down, right? They usually hang down from the roof line. Okay, we're almost at the magic moment where we're going to put a couple of our tricks in. All right, trick number 1. Oh wait, we need a moon. Moon. Okay, trick number 1 is our ice skating rink, our frozen pond. Here's our aluminum foil. It's a big piece, so to make it easy, I'm going to cut it smaller. This is all I really need, right? Now I'm going to cut it into an oval. But it doesn't have to be an oval, it can be the shape you want, right? Lakes come in all kinds of shapes. You can use this shiny side. See how shiny? Whoa, blinding. Or you can use this other side. It's kind of frosty. I like this side because it reminds me of being frosted. And you might want to just smooth it out a little bit. I know mine got a little beat up on my way here. All right, here's my glue. Here we go. Whoa. All righty, there's our glue. Put my lake in. Ta-da! All right, there's only one trick left to go, huh? And that's the big finale trick. Let's clean my workspace up, get these crayons out of here. All right, how to make splatter snow or stars. This is tempera paint. This is one of the things that you are going to need, and I think I neglected mentioning that at the beginning of the show, of our little show. So tempera paint is the kind that you squirt out of a tube. You can get it at almost any dollar store. So you need a dry brush, a stiff, dry brush. And I'm going to practice. So I put a little bit of paint on here, right? Not a lot. See? I'm going to take my finger. Look what I'm going to do. I'm going to fling it. Fling, fling, fling. And I see I need some more paint to make this fling right. So let's try this again. Fling, 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 fling. Oh, I got some lines going on. Let's see. I'm going to bring it up so you can see it. Get some more going on here. This brush isn't cooperating as well as I would like it to, but you gotta get me. Ah, here we go. Here's some of my snowflakes. Whoa! Yeah, you want to try to avoid that, and that's why we're doing a test sheet. So do you see? Forget all those lines, but look at the stars that we have going on there. Do you see how some are big, some are small, just like snowflakes? So I'm going to try and do this, but I'm going to pause for a moment, and I'm going to get a different brush. I'm back, and I have a different brush. I have a brush like this. I think this might work. Let's see what we got. All right, we're going to try it right on my artwork. That's pretty bold. There we go. Just have to take your time. And this is the wild part of the project. So you're going to wind up with one very wet finger as you fling this. It's starting. The other brush I had gave me bigger snowflakes. So maybe you can try experimenting. And if you have a couple of different brushes you can try, see which ones give you the fattest snowflakes. And we're just going to finish flinging snow. All right, you guys get the idea. You would cover the whole paper in snowflakes. Do you see? The other ones look like shooting stars, don't they? Yeah. All right, so if you had a bigger brush, you see how fat these snowflakes are? Yeah, it's all in the tools. So this is what you're going to wind up with, you know, or something like this, because it's going to be your version of it. Because everyone makes art that represents them, and it's all different, and that's what makes it great. Thanks for joining us for our winter nocturnal landscape, and we'll see you again with a new winter project. Thanks again, Canoga Park Youth Arts Center. Surprise! You thought it was the end of the video, but it's not. I couldn't let it go why my snowflakes weren't working, so I went and I checked, and I was using the wrong paint. I was using acrylic paint. I wasn't using the tempera that I had suggested to you guys to use. So I'm going to show you how to make these snowflakes with the right white paint. So you're going to put tempera paint, not acrylic, into here. And now you're going to watch me flip, 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 flip. See, look at that. That is what I couldn't let go of, because that is a beautiful snowstorm. And that is the snowstorm that I wanted to get you guys excited about. There we go. I'm going to hold this up when I'm done flinging away here. See how easy? Look at this. That's just filling up. It's a blizzard. The blizzard of 2021. All right, I'm going to put a few more snowflakes in here. Big guys, hold it up to you. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's a snowfall. So just wanted to tack that onto the end of our video. Make sure you're using tempera paint.